Well, I spoke to the Defence Secretary Philip Hammond just before John Kerry's statement and asked if the Prime Minister was disappointed by the outcome of yesterday's Commons vote.
Of course he's disappointed. Of course he's disappointed, but he absolutely accepts that we must be Democrats first, and Parliament has spoken, and that has to guide our action now. So we move on.
Well, he was badly let down by his whips, wasn't it? I mean, it was pretty shambolic to have 30 of your own party and 3 ministers not turn up.
Well, I think actually the whips did a good job throughout the week.
A good job when 3 ministers missed the vote and 30 backbenchers rebelled.
Look, in the end, we put the arguments, the debate was had, and neither the opposition's amendment nor the government's motion was carried, and we just have to accept that.
Very soon, we're hearing the US will launch those missile strikes alone without Britain. That's the first time that will have happened for 30 years. How do you, as Defence Secretary, feel about that?
Well, I'm disappointed, and if I'm honest, I'm slightly apprehensive, because we have a very close working relationship with the Americans. It's a difficult time for our armed forces, having prepared to go into this action, to then be stood down and have to watch while the US acts alone, or perhaps the US acts with France.
But how about having the French there as the American allies? How does that strike you?
Well, it's certainly a reversal of the usual position, and it will be an uncomfortable place for many people in the British Armed Forces who are used to working alongside the Americans as an everyday normal course of business situation. And seeing the Americans working with the French while we stand and watch will not be a comfortable place.
And uncomfortable for you too as Defence Secretary. I mean, are you being consulted on what's happening in the next few days by the US?
Well, there's still a high level of communication going on between us and the US, but as you would expect, we are no longer involved directly in the military planning aspects, because we will not be using any British military assets in this operation should it occur.
And the special relationship, I mean, is that now on a different footing? Is this a temporary blip in it, or is this a divorce, basically?
No, of course it's not a divorce. The relationship between the United States and the UK operates at multiple levels and is very deep.
The Defence Secretary Philip Hammond.